So the challenge is on number 6. Next case, you have time to decide. They had long time to decide on the challenge, and now that board they also have difficult discussions to decide whether to accept or not. The challenge is number 6. And you also have 10 seconds to decide. So it is number 6 and it is accepted. Thank you. And now you have your preparation time to run it. Same as previously, as soon as your team decides on who is the presenting member, who takes the floor, it will be very convenient if another team member could write down her or his name on the board. But can you check the description one? preparation time is up, so please start now with your report.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Iypt, and I would like to present to you our solution to the problem number 6, hurricane ball. So the task is that two steel balls are joined together, and they can be spun at incredibly high frequencies if we blow on them with something like a plastic tube or straw. I have a video here of the balls spinning. Here, if we examine this video and take a look at it, and then we can see 3 things from that video. That the balls seem to be rolling without slipping on the table. Also, that there is only one ball in contact with the table, and the other is flying around it. And then that there are rotations in 3 separate axes of the balls. And if we play with the balls for a while, not only once but a few times, we can see that the balls, after we spin them, after a very short time, they quickly reach a steady state in which the state changes really slowly. And then they form some sort of angle with the table, as we can see here from the side view of the balls. And then there is some border frequency under which the rotational motion is not sustainable and the balls just fall and stop. So the mechanism this works, and basically how the balls lift, how the one ball lifts the other ball, that balls are in contact with 2 points. Here we can see as the point A and point B, and there are normal forces in these points. And when if the normal force B disappears, you could think that the gravitational force at the point A would be bigger, so the point center of mass would decrease and go down, but it cannot because it's on the table basically, and there is also a torque from friction with the table that points up, so the center of mass will increase and the balls will lift. If we want to make some quantitative theory out of this, we need to make some assumptions, so it's not that complicated. The assumption that there are rotations in 3 perpendicular directions, and then the kinetic energy of the center of mass is 0. Then we can express kinetic energy with this equation. And if we make a diagram like this and take a look at all the parameters there from this kinetic energy equation, we can make this Lagrangian, and where there are the rotations in 3 separate axes here, and this is potential energy. If we want to make a steady state out of this Lagrangian, we neglect the theta dot terms, and the rolling without slipping constraint gives us that all the 3 rotations in all the directions are the same. So we get just this middle equation, and if we
Okay, let's start now.
So greetings to everyone here. So I'm the opponent from Team Taiwan. I'm Mark, and today I'm presenting the opposition of problem number 6, hurricane balls. So this is a problem statement. The problem statement asks us to investigate dynamic behavior, which is restricted by enhanced motion and also blowing through air tube, and which has a phenomenon including the inclination, which is proposed by reporter, and also several theoretical models inside. So this is the post structure of problem solving from the opponent. So first part will be clarifying the role of hand-start motion and air tube blowing, which is provided by the problem statement. Why would they do that, and what is the initial condition or acceleration might be provided by these two steps. And in the next part, visualizing the behavior of hurricane balls, including the forces and torques inside, which would be perhaps affecting the rise of the hurricane balls and also the rotation as well. And also investigate with the air tube blowing and also other resistant force working on the rotations we have and terminal motions, which I would like to have the discussion in the next cases. And lastly, having comprehensive analysis or understanding of the phenomenon of the hurricane balls motion regarding the discussion of random parameters or further insight involved. So here's a review of the reporter's report. So firstly, in the first part, it gave us a clear observation video, including the breakdown system, and also, but this part they have not, but in the next part, they're going into the theoretical model, which they have a cited Lagrangian model, but they have not given us a very clear analysis of the rotation on the RX axis, which is their measurement. And they have considered the size of the balls, but they have not considered the slipping initial velocity transition of motion and before the stabilization in their model, which they only consider the only stable motion, which is they have stayed in the pure rolling motions. And next part, they has also not discussed about explanation and also of the equations and diagrams, and somebody had not given a very clear own contribution and the large deviation not embedded in their graphs, which I believe made out most of the deficiency of the report. So to sum up in general, I believe the task fulfillment from the reporter on this text is only partly fulfilled. And here are several points I would like to discuss in the next phase, including firstly the force and torques, which I believe, which is regarding the rigid body dynamics involved in the system, including centripetal force and friction, gravity, and normal force in the case, and also the role of provided by the problem statement, including the flowing air tubes and the hand start motion. And next part, I would like to discuss on the rise of hurricane balls to sum up with the previous ideas, including the decisive lifting. As the reporters say, the two balls seem to be in a symmetrical motion, then which I believe that in this case, then we could not know if either which ball would lift up and which resulting conclusion with no balls will lift up eventually. And next part, I would like to talk about the critical criteria of lifting. Will hurricane balls always lift up? And also about the mechanism behind the angle balancing those phenomena, perhaps including several mechanisms of torques. And lastly, the dynamic behaviors, including the periodic motion, as I asked the reporters in the short questions, and also the central movement, which I believe they have not shown a clear observation or a clear photo of how they do the flowing airstream, and which I believe it will cause central movement both laterally and vertically, and which perhaps affect the phenomenon in some effect, including energy or some other Newtonian mechanism, and also a further discussion on parameters including the radius, mass distribution, and the distance between balls, which is not included by the reporter's report. And I would like to skip to the next page.
Okay, first of all,